Today I'm with Vivien Taylor of the Beauty Room Clinic. So Vivien, perhaps start off by telling me how you got involved in this business.
It's a good question. I was about to set up my own business in fitness, in fact, 15 years ago. I always wanted to have my own business, and fitness business was something I'd wanted to get into. It was called Rosemary Cranleigh franchise, which was to do with diet and fitness, which I thought would suit me. But I had everything arranged, and then I unfortunately became very ill. And I got Legionnaire's disease, and that led into ME, which completely annihilated me. And I was very poorly for quite a long time, which then a slight problem of what was I going to do, and I couldn't really be relied on to be in a normal 9-to-5 job again. Fortunately, I had already trained in beauty, about 5 years previously to that, and I was in fact doing mobile beauty work on top of my city job. And so it was a much calmer environment to be in the beauty industry, and I thought, well, instead of running around like a headless chicken like I had for many years, which probably was contributory to my illness, I would take a more calmer route. So I set up my beauty business from home, very low-key level to start with, and I didn't really want to do the same as everybody else. I wanted to do something less streamlined. So I decided to go into something called non-surgical facelifting, which basically is a procedure which lifts and tightens the face, but in a natural way. I didn't want to get into like aggressive treatments or use harmful chemicals, which a lot of people were getting into, and having had an immunity illness myself, it seemed only natural to go into something which was a much nicer way of doing treatments and less aggressive, and things that didn't actually destroy the skin, actually repair the skin, which is the reverse. So that was my decision. I slowly built it up, and I got trained in non-surgical facelifting, and after about a year and a half I found some premises that a friend let me have quite reasonably, and I started up, and then I did a launch and asked everybody in Cranleigh, because I didn't really know anyone in Cranleigh, but having worked in Cranleigh for 6 months I got to know everybody, and I went out and gave leaflets to everybody and told everyone about it, and gave about 60 leaflets out. I think about 25 people had turned up on the night that I had, and explained the treatment to everybody, and people could actually see the client in front of me and their lines and wrinkles disappearing, which is what happens. And I think 8 people turned on that night. I had 2 sessions that evening, and 8 people signed up on the night, and the ones that didn't sign up on the night signed up after that following Christmas, about 6 months later. So that's how it all started. And I think I was quite surprised how it took off, and I never really looked back, to be honest with you. So that's really how it happened. In the face of adversity, something good came out of it.
Well, clearly you wouldn't want to go through that again, but perhaps you've ended up in a better place as a result of it.
Probably, yes.
And we're filming here in the Cranleigh Leisure Centre, and from what we explained before, but explain to people listening, how did you end up here? Because you were previously in Smithbrook Kilns.
I was at Smithbrook Kilns I moved premises after Cranleigh. I moved to Smithbrook Kilns about 3 years later, and had bigger premises in Smithbrook, and I was there for about 9 years, which is fantastic, and really built up a good clientele there. In fact, what's nice about it is the loyalty of actually people that started with me are still coming to see me now, which is 15 years later is probably quite a good sign. And I was there for about 9 years, but I really felt I had done my time there, and I wanted a little bit more going on around me. And purely it was the fact that I just wanted to be back in Cranleigh and be able to walk out to the high street at lunchtime and just have a different environment. And it does fit in with obviously sport and activities, etc. People obviously come for massage after they've had they've done various over exercise, etc. And it was good exposure, so it seemed a nice natural place to go to, really. That's why I'm
And you're talking about the non-invasive facelift. What other procedures, services, whatever you can, however the right word is?
Yes, well, I've now got into something called collagen stimulation therapy. So all the treatments I do are really natural treatments, so it's all about repairing the skin. It's a minefield of treatments that are out there, and the public really don't understand and know which way to go. There are so many procedures, but a lot of them actually are quite worrying, and they are procedures where they actually destroy the skin. which a lot of people don't understand or realise what they're doing to themselves. So I'm trying to educate people and trying to encourage people, and always do talk to people through the whole procedure beforehand to try and express how harmful these things are and to go down the natural route. So collagen stimulation therapy is a new treatment that I've got involved with by a South African surgeon who in fact helped people with skin cancer originally, and he was a team player with Christian Barnard, who was a heart surgeon many years ago, which some people will remember. But he wanted to break away from that, and he had 2 patients, in fact, who he had done heart surgery on, who were in their 20s, but and they survived the heart surgery, but 2 years later they died of skin cancer.
Oh, right, okay.
So he felt that was his time to break away and actually start up a different business with skincare, and this is what he's got into, which is now which I'm now involved in. And it's a simple procedure with small rollers with needles. It doesn't sound very nice, but it's actually not that harmful. Well, it's not harmful at all, but it's just a procedure which fractionally punctures the skin in a very small way. And if you think you just prick your finger with a needle, your skin thinks it just naturally has to heal itself, and that's all it is. It's very uninvasive, but it does the procedure and the skin repairs itself, and it's amazing what you can do on arms, on inner thighs, on buttocks, on any area of your face. It just renews the skin in a natural format, so it's a very clever system without actually doing.
So it's not necessarily for people who have skin cancer now. It's more preventative, is it, or just a treatment which also has a benefit for?
It's basically isn't a cancer treatment, no, but it is for people who've got scarring, scar tissue, stretch marks, high pigmentation, and marks on their face from being overexposed to the sunshine. Those are or just general menopausal situations where people start their skin gets saggy in certain areas, to be perfectly blunt. But it covers a wide range of things, but it's very effective and very clever, and you don't have to have too many treatments. And it's once you've had the treatment, it lasts. You may need to have one procedure for say a year, once a year, and that's it really. It just keeps the skin up to speed. It's quite clever, really.
Yeah. And it's probably worth just taking back a step. You've explained about the more invasive treatment. In my ignorance, and perhaps other people who aren't particularly aware of it, what sort of the invasive treatments are there? Is it sort of the Botox areas? Is that what you're referring to when that's the high risk?
Botox is obviously something I would never touch.
Yeah.
From a business point of view, I could have financially made a lot of money out of doing that, but I wasn't prepared to do that because my morals, I couldn't sit here and expect people to inject things into them. What people don't realise is if you actually inject Botox into the skin, it doesn't just go into the face or the area that it's gone into, it's actually going through your body. Right, so your body's absorbing that through all your organs, and it's a paralysis. Right. It's not a clever thing to get involved in, so that's number one thing I wouldn't get involved in. Microdermabrasion is another treatment which is like sandblasting your skin. I don't think it's very pleasant to actually undergo. It does. It's not very nice. But the stratum corneum of the skin, it's basically the covering of your skin, which is vital. But once you destroy that, all sorts of things can go wrong underneath it, and it's not a good idea to destroy the layers of skin. And my whole policy is just to keep the skin natural and to rejuvenate itself rather than destroy it, because if you do lasers the skin or have these other procedures, initially it does take layers of skin off, and you come up with beautiful skin without any wrinkles, but actually the reverse happens because that skin isn't prepared or isn't ready to come through, and you end up with worse wrinkles, but nobody realises that. So you'll go out happy bunny for a year and then realise they actually look worse, and then what do? You've destroyed it, you can't repair it.
And you end up looking like Shane Warne or someone like that, which is a scary sight. Tell me a bit more about your clients then. Who are the typical clients for you?
My clients really are, I'd say, aged probably 40 plus. Right. I think that's the age when most of the women probably start to see the decline and change in their bodies. So it's probably 40 plus. The other thing is really, I don't know where all my business comes from sometimes, because facelifting is a bit of a secret, and people often don't tell each other. Other treatments, obviously word of mouth, things get around, but in general it's a big secret when people come in here, and they come with their dark glasses and come around the back, but it's normally 40 upwards. For the non-surgical facelifting, those treatments are 40 plus, and I've had probably my most senior clients probably been 70, 75, But it does work on everybody. It's just as long as you're lifting properly, the procedure, it does work.
And exclusively women or predominantly women?
Yes, exclusively women.
I thought it probably would be. And
not
so
that might change.
Well, of course. Well, metrosexual men, you never know as they get
I think
older.
men are more. I think they realise now that there are treatments that are necessary for it.
Yeah.
And even my other half wears moisturiser now, so that's
really?
a good sign.
Well, hopefully I've got youthful skin, so won't be a client yet, but who knows in the future. You made reference to, you don't know where your clients come from all the time, but what marketing do you do? Have you found that there's a particular approach in Cranleigh that helps you?
Well, it's very low key, I would say. I mean, my clients come from a very wide area, Guildford, Horsham, Dorking, I mean quite a wide area, but I think most of them, well at Smithwick Kilns I had signage on the road, so that was easy to get people in. To be honest with you, market wise it's a lot of, obviously sometimes it's website these days, a lot more. I've marketed just leaflets, etc. in coffee shops and that thing. I've never actually spent an awful lot of money on marketing. I've been very lucky.
Good, yeah.
And because I'm working on my own, I seem to tick over quite nicely. It does get frantic occasionally. I have to work longer hours, but it's just been a fairly continual flow. Obviously, you always get natural wastage of people who have to leave the country, etc.
Yeah.
It's a little bit harder to get business these days. But I think that's general all round. But my best format really is like networking.
Right.
Obviously, networking sessions are excellent to meet people. There's women in business. There's the Institute of Directors. I was part of that for a while. There's all sorts of functions. Met people from there, and also ladies' days. So, but I find it's probably better to have people in front of me, because obviously I haven't just come out of college. I'm a little bit more mature, and obviously the more mature woman prefers that, and I think I would if I was having a treatment myself. And that's once people realise that I have been in this field for quite a long time, hopefully I give them the confidence that they will be okay and I'll look after them. Plus I think also it's a team thing, because they come in here, there are various, not treatments, but products that I use called Environ, which are all linked with Dr. Fernandez in this particular procedures I'm talking about. And they're very specific, they're full of vitamins, and they don't sit on top of the skin, they actually physically repair the skin. And this is a word people have to remember, is repair, not just cleanse. Yeah. And they come in here, I advise them on various treatments or products that they need, and then they go home, use the products, and we work as a team. So I'm doing my bit, they're doing their bit, and we work together, and then we see results. And that's where I think you get client loyalty. And that's where it all works from, I think.
You must find you're always looking at people in their skin thinking, oh, what I can do for you.
I don't actually, I don't. I think sometimes I see people in the street, they avoid me because they think, oh, I haven't got my makeup on today. Really? But I honestly don't look at people like that. I shut off once again.
And for other people who might be looking at this and wanting to set up their own beauty room clinics, similar businesses elsewhere in the country, what advice would you be giving them? I
would say stick to what you know. Maybe pick things that you enjoy, because otherwise, if you're doing lots of treatments you don't enjoy, then it won't work. Stick to your beliefs. Focus on, say, things you enjoy. Keep up your speeds. Keep up your qualifications. I think it's very important, all the legislation that's around, and just stick with it. One thing I haven't told you about, and I'm also doing teeth whitening, which I haven't explained, but again, because of all the EU legislation that's now come in, things have changed since last October, and even the dentists now have actually been told that they have to come down on their levels of hydrogen peroxide. So I'm again doing a non-invasive, non-sensitivity and non-laser teeth whitening treatment, which is incredible, and that's something I've now got 4 clinics running on that, so I'm out doing that as well, which is going great guns. I'm really enjoying that. Okay. And I'll just show you actually something.
Yeah,
because
when
people come in, they obviously, I don't know if you can see the colours on this, but the top of the range here is the worst colour teeth you can have, and that can bring it. And I've actually had people with teeth this bad coming right down to there. In the first session of treatment, there's 3 sessions in one in 1 hour. Okay. But that's what it can do, and it's absolutely remarkable without harming anything. It's very pleasant, the person falls asleep, and you can get some great results. That's my new new procedure now.
And that's proving popular at the moment.
I wasn't that keen to do it to start with, funnily enough. Other people here at the centre were nagging me to do it, and I was wrong and they were right. So it's very, very popular, and again it goes all the way across the board, from kids who are on their prom to grannies. I'm amazed at the different age ranges that have come in, and that is male and female. Yes.
Interesting. And why would that be different coming to you rather than going to the local dentist?
Well, I think people are realising that that is, one, it's expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, the head dentists are charging £350, and actually they're not doing much less than us.
Right. Okay.
And you don't actually have. It's not really. It is like a dental procedure, but it is a safe procedure, and you haven't got to have any. If you go to the dentist, you do get sensitivity with hydrogen peroxide, and it's not very pleasant, so I hear. So I think people are understanding that you don't have to go through that unpleasantness. And this is the way forward, really. Okay,
so more comfortable at a lower cost.
Absolutely.
Sounds pretty good. And if you had a magic wand and you could do anything for the business, what would that be?
Anything for the business? Gosh, that's a difficult question, isn't it?
Maybe just lots of new clients.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Whiz them in through the door. That's a really difficult question. I don't know how to answer.
Okay. We'll just go with lots of new clients.
I think so. That'd be nice. Just keep them coming in.
Fantastic. And any particular plans for the business, or just continue?
Continue what I'm doing. I mean, obviously going to stick to my main things now. I mean, I was the second salon that arrived in Cranleigh, and one of the first in the South of England to do non-surgical facelifting. Obviously, that has taken off from various other salons, but not many people here in Cranleigh are doing that.
Okay.
Or we have our own versions, but we all have our own different areas. We all major in different things. We're not fighting over each other. It's quite funny, actually. But I will stick, obviously, to my non-surgical facelifting is something that's been the core of my business, and I will continue to do that. There are other things coming out, but I still don't think they're as good. The teeth whitening, I think, is really taking off, so that's something I'm going to obviously major in a lot more. And the collagen stimulation therapy is something that people still don't know about, and I've got to get out there and meet and find and teach people about that. So I'm just stick with what I do. Every year I'm doing new courses with Environ, which is the Institute of Anti-Aging, and I'm building up on that, and that's what I will stick with, because that's what I know, and that's what I'm passionate about, and that's what I believe in.
Clearly comes across.
That's about it, really.
Good. Well, it sounds like you're in a very good position from where you've been. So perhaps just to finish off, we've been having people just introduce themselves to the camera and just say who you are and name of the business.
My name is Vivien Taylor, and the company name is Beauty Room Clinic, and I hope you'll come and see me sometime and tell your friends.
Lovely. Thank you very much.